will support the Prime Minister. If she was to come back to Brussels, where you are, later in the week with a mandate and a majority, would that make a difference?
In a short answer,
Why don't you just press buttons, Lisa? Because you're not taking any photos at all.
The indications are this evening that Brussels will say no, that isn't enough. They don't want to reopen the withdrawal agreement, that exit treaty text that is on the table. The sources here saying that the responses are already prepared to come out if that amendment is passed in London, and it will be that there is not a renegotiation possible. We're hearing from President Macron of France saying exactly the same thing. He's at a mini summit meeting in Cyprus this evening, so EU leaders starting to make their voices heard as well, and for a very simple reason, because that amendment, Christian says, is the one that says that the UK government, Theresa May, should seek to find alternative arrangements to deal with that Irish border situation. The EU's view is alternative arrangements have been discussed thoroughly for well over a year. Every possible option has been looked at, and there are no other better options. And particularly what Theresa May was saying in Parliament today, possibly time limits, possibly technology to deal with the border. None of those work in the EU's view, and the EU's view is also that Theresa May herself said this the other day, that none of those work, that there has to be a backstop in the deal. She's shaped the deal, her own red lines have created it, it's been negotiated with major concessions that EU believes to fit to sort of structure it the way she wanted it. So at this stage they're saying, no, that can't be changed.
But are there some in Brussels, Damien, who are watching the debate today, and of course they pay attention to it, seeing that there is a majority probably in the House of Commons to take no deal off the table, seeing that there are a lot of Remainers who would like to push this down a softer route, towards a softer Brexit, closer relationship with the single market and with the customs union, and thinking, well, why would we help the Prime Minister at this stage when we could take it in another way?
Well, I'm not sure certainly there are many here who would like Brexit never to have happened, never to have come about, not to come about. But I think crucially the thing to say is that in Brussels what they do want is to see a solution come out of this at the end of the day, and a managed withdrawal deal is their preference. That's what they've spent months and months and months negotiating. But within that has to fit into sort of the EU parameters. The deals that are on the table is the best one, President Macron said this evening, that could be offered under the circumstances. And so they don't see the need at this point to change that unless the UK fundamentally change its own negotiating position. In more time, that might be something that could be contemplated, but not at this point right now.
Please. Tell Lisa. When are we going to go, Lisa? You just want to remember you, Lisa.